you're confident, dressing up to the nines, you've done your hair and makeup, and everyone compliments you on how nice you look. But that's not the same as that deeper level of confidence which shows up in every situation, no matter how you look. And that's the kind of confidence I used to not have. I was insecure, and it showed up in every single area of my life. I felt small, like the world was just too much for me. But everything's changed. I've changed, my life has changed. And I think two things happen when you develop that kind of confidence. One, people take notice. They'll actually comment on how much you've changed, and you'll attract a different kind of energy into your life. And two, you become more of who you are. And that means you can take your place in the world. Yes, I've built confidence by things like going to the gym, improving my skincare, and learning new skills. But when I think about that deeper level of confidence, I think there's three things that have made the difference. I have social anxiety and I'm an introvert, but that doesn't mean I'm not confident. And that's because instead of using these labels to define me, I've used them to gain a better understanding of myself, which is the very thing that has helped me to be more confident. So, for example, I do get socially anxious in certain situations, and I've begun to understand what triggers that, and that's helped me to become more confident. Not because I just avoid those triggering situations, but it means that I can just walk into them knowing I might not feel my best, or that I might need someone there with me. Okay, so I never film this way, but I was editing the YouTube video and I just felt a little bit guilty, I guess, because I feel like whenever I talk to you guys, I almost make it seem like I've gotten to the other side of things. So it's sort of like my YouTube banner, like I have the squiggle and then the wave. I feel like I make it sound like I'm at the wave all the time, when that's not always true. I have a lot of squiggle moments, but when I sit down to plan YouTube videos, I journal, I really process my thoughts into something that's very structured and something that has clarity, I guess. And it's a very therapeutic process, but it's not reflective of how I feel all of the time. So I guess the reason that I'm telling you this is because, I've just been talking about social anxiety, and I feel a bit guilty and hypocritical because last week I had a situation that made me very socially anxious. In fact, I don't even know if socially anxious is the right term for it, because it was more like I was anticipating being socially anxious and doing everything I could to control the situation. So it was basically one of my really good friend's 30th birthdays, and as soon as I knew it was happening, I started to overthink about it because I was worried there would be people from my university there. I've not seen anyone from uni in about 6 years, and uni was not a great time for me. I feel like I was just not in the same place that I am in now, and I don't know, it's not their fault, but I feel like they do make me overthink. I don't know what it is. I think it just takes me back to when I was at uni and the way I was feeling, and just overthinking, what they would think about me, or what I would even say to them, and just a lot of stuff like that. So I was really panicking about going, but I was determined to go because of, whose birthday it was. So I asked my husband to come with me, and, I was definitely going to go. But then my husband had something that came up, and so he couldn't go. And in the end, I decided not to go because I just felt like I couldn't do it on my own, and I feel really bad about it. Like, I feel so guilty, and I'm annoyed at myself that I couldn't get over it for this person that means a lot to me. Yeah, I guess I just want to say that, these situations do still happen to me, and it's weird because I still think of myself as a confident person, even though last week didn't really prove that and is not the best example of my confidence. But I just want you to know that, just in case you do have social anxiety, you're not alone, and you can still be confident in spite of it, Doesn't mean that every single situation will be confident, but I think confidence is something that, you're not going to feel your complete best every single day or in every situation or around every single person, and that's not always on you, So yeah, I'm really sorry if this is a complete ramble. I really didn't want to mislead anyone with this video at all. So anyways, this is enough of the ramble. I'm sorry if I sound a bit nasally, I've got a bit of a cold, and let's just go back to the video. And it's the same with being an introvert. I understand that I need time to recharge and that I prefer meaningful friendships, even if I have less of them. And because I know that, it means I can feel more confident when my social life doesn't match social expectations. I think it also comes down to how we frame labels. I tell people this story all the time, but my brothers used to call me a dragon, and I used to cry all the time because I thought it was such a bad thing. Until eventually, I realised that they called me a dragon because I'm passionate and I get fiercely protective over the things that I care about. And that's something that I actually love about myself. You are who you are, and confidence doesn't have to happen when you change things about yourself, but when you see them in a different light. You can't expect to be confident if you're at home all the time, scrolling and looking at other people's lives. You don't eat healthy, you don't exercise, you don't take care of yourself in any way. You haven't developed any interests or hobbies, you have no boundaries with other people, you're not really doing anything you want, but you're also making no effort to change that. And that's on you, because no one is going to make your life better for you. And when you make those positive changes and you actually follow through with it, it's going to make you more confident because you realize that you're in charge of your own life. But having said that, I also think confidence comes when you realize what's not your responsibility, because not everything is. So like a lot of my insecurities came because I was always worrying about whether I was interesting or likable enough. Like if I went out with someone and there was this awkward silence, I would be the one worrying about what to say. But eventually I kind of just realized that, why am I putting all the pressure on my shoulders when there's two people involved in this conversation? And it's the same with when people don't like me or if they leave a bad comment. In the past, things like that would really get to me. But now I've got to the point where I realize, why should I try and make that person see otherwise? You know, what effort is that person making to make me like them? And so I've kind of, for the most part, let all of that stuff go because I now know that's not on me. And so in general, that's how I've become more confident. I've taken control of the things that are within my control, and I've let go of the things that aren't in my control. Way back when I was watching videos or reading books on how to be more confident, it didn't actually help me with confidence. And that's because my head was still in a book and my eyes were still glued to a screen. That was never going to help me with confidence. I was insecure because I was trying to be perfect. I didn't want to look stupid. I was terrified of embarrassing myself, and I wouldn't let myself make mistakes. And that meant I never did anything that could expose me to failure or criticism. But being in a shell was never going to help me be more confident. In the end, it was me putting myself out there or just leaning into action and gaining experience which helped me the most with confidence. I didn't even mean for any of it to help my confidence. I didn't do any of these things for confidence. It just sort of happened. So thank you for watching this video, but now I want you to do something for you, because that's going to help you to be more confident than me telling you how to be more confident.